Physics. My name is Ms Farrell, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what science is going to be like at Harris Academy Battersea when you join us next year. So, we split science into three subjects, into biology, chemistry, and physics. Now, biology is the study of living things, so trying to answer questions like how do our bodies work, what are living things made of, and how can we protect and care for our environment. Chemistry is looking at how different substances or chemicals behave. So chemical reactions, what is an acid, why is it so dangerous, how can we make materials that do jobs for us, like things that are super strong. And then finally, physics is the study of the rules that make up our universe. So what is an atom, how big is the universe, what's electricity, how does that work? Those are all kinds of questions that we deal with in physics. So when you study these things next year in year 7, the kind of things that we're going to be looking at, in biology, we're going to be looking at what are cells and how do they work, how do our bodies move, how do different living things depend on each other, how do humans and plants reproduce themselves, and why do we all look different? In chemistry, you'll be looking at what's the difference between solids, liquids, and gases, how can we separate out different mixtures, what are acids and alkalis, what's the difference between metals and non-metals, what's inside the earth, how do volcanoes work, and then why do we have day, night, and the seasons? And then in physics, you're going to be looking at what is electricity, how does it behave if we make a circuit, what's energy, how can we use it, what is gravity, how do we figure out how fast things are going, and how does sound and light work? So a lot of different things for you to study next year. Now, why is science so important? Well, science is really important to a lot of things in modern life. Things like what I've shown you in these pictures, electricity wouldn't be there without science. Making different materials that we can use in things like makeup and cosmetics. Farming to make sure that we can feed everyone on the planet safely. Medicine, incredibly important. Travel, things like aeroplanes. And finally, the internet and phones we wouldn't have without science. So an incredibly important subject. Final thing to talk about is other activities that you can do related to science at Harris Academy Battersea. So we have a science club that runs every week, which allows you to do lots of experiments and projects that you wouldn't get to do in lessons. In the past, people have made their own slime, they've made bath bombs and things like that. We also have a lot of science trips that you could go on during your time here. And those would be things like going to the Science Museum, going to the L'Oreal Young Scientist Centre, which allows you to do your own investigations, going to London Zoo, going to Kew Gardens, and also going to the Royal Observatory at Greenwich, where you can do things like look at the stars. So a lot of exciting things in science for next year, and we look forward to seeing you there.